So it's a very personal journey for so many women, but it is a journey when you know about it and you know what's happening to you, is an easier journey to take. Happens to every single woman and some trans men, and we know nothing about it. This is a crime to womanhood.
You wrote a book, it's here in front of me, called Menopausing. Why? Why did you want to write a book on it? Writing books is a lot of effort.
Yeah.
You know, so you have to really want it. And you're now in a very intentional phase of your life. So this must have really, from everything I've learned about you so far, must have really mattered.
Totally. I mean, I think I did 2 documentaries, which were eye-openers for me. The first one was a huge risk. And I thought, oh, am I literally committing professional harikiri here? Is my entire career going to implode now that I am banging the menopause drum and telling everybody that I'm menopausal? Because I'd hidden it for so long. I thought, is this going to be a bad thing or a good thing? I had no idea. But my life was heading in this direction where I'd been talking to doctors and learning things. And I thought, I've got a platform. And I don't understand when it's something that happens to every single woman. It's not even like it happens to some women. It happens to every single woman and some trans men. And we know nothing about it. This is a crime to womanhood. And it is also not good for society, because women are behaving in a bizarre and irrational and over-emotional way sometimes. 75% of women have symptoms, 25% of women don't. That those 75% are going to be behaving or going through things that either will affect their jobs, their work, certainly will affect their relationships, certainly will affect their children's lives if they've got kids. And yet we don't know anything about it. Neither did you or anybody else know anything about what was going on. And I thought, I have got a platform, and most of the people that follow me on this platform are women. I've got to do something about it. So I did this first documentary, and I kind of watched it at home like that, like, oh my God, oh my God. And then I went out for a dog walk the next day.
It's always on the dog walk.
Stopped 3 times.
Really?
Yeah, it's always on the dog walk. It always goes off when I walk the dog. It's like amazing. No, and I got stopped 3 times, and I was like, oh, hi, yeah, hi. And they went, oh my God, we watched it last night. I was like, oh, wow, did you? And then one person cried. Another was a guy that stopped me and said, oh, I watched it with my wife. And then we called my wife's sister, because my wife's sister's definitely, she's been like lost for so long, and it's so good. And I thought, God, I think this is going to be great. I think this is going to really help people. This could be seriously good. But like page 1 of menopause questions, I still get asked, can I take HRT while I've still got periods? Yes, that is exactly when it's the best time to take HRT. Oh, my GP's told me I'm too young. No, 45 is a completely normal time. You're thinking, wow, I'm not reaching as many people as I thought I was. I've made these 2 programs and I've talked about it and I've shared about it and I've shared about it online and I've said you can watch it on all 4 and all of that. But I just thought there needs to be something where it can be on a table or in a loo or in a library or in an office space where people can go and reference and look something up and know that they are getting 100% correct facts. Because the doctor that I wrote this with is, unlike me, extremely fastidious about telling the truth and about getting correct, scientifically validated information out there. So me and her make quite a good team, because I'm all the kind of huge feelings and passion and anger and laughter and silliness, and she's the science. So it's a very personal journey for so many women, but it is a journey that when you know about it and you know what's happening to you, is an easier journey to take.
What about men? You talk about men in the book.
Yeah, so they're like really important. I'm going to tell you a story about a guy the other day. He sent me a tweet and he said, I got your book. And I went to the living room door and I opened the living room door, I chucked in the book and I ran away. And it made me laugh when I read it. And I thought, oh, banter, hilarious.
Oh, as he ran in there, chucked it at his wife.
Yeah. And like, I'm terrified. And then I thought, actually, do you know what? I'm going to send you a direct message So I messaged him because he was following me. So I messaged him privately. I said, "Are you okay?" And he went, "It's actually quite hard. Like, I don't know what to do." And I thought, oh, that was a bit of banter, but actually you're struggling, right?
Yeah.
So I was like, "Hey, listen, I've got a great tip. Leave the banter at the door of the living room, and why don't you go in and you can pick up the book and sit down and read it with her. She'd absolutely love it. I can't tell you how much it would mean to her if you said, I don't know what to say or how to help you, and I'm feeling," tell her how you feel, but in a non-comedy way, like really tell her how you feel, and then say, "What can I do to help? Can I read this book with you? Can we, what can I do?" Anyway, the next day he sent me another message and he went, "Oh my God, I did it. And it was so good. And we read a bit of the book together and I feel much better informed and I don't feel like it's me." Because I think he thought it was him, and it's hard to explain when you're being a bitch that it's not their fault, but that everything that they do makes you want to like run away or shout at them, but it's not their fault. How can that not feel like your fault when you've got somebody doing that to you? And just knowing that it is a thing that happens and that there are things that you can do about it makes all the difference, to a man. So I think, and to the woman, for a man to then go, "Oh, I see," it's like, oh, he gets it.
Do you know what though? There's a fear I have about this, because even in the case of him buying the book and then running in, I know it was a joke, running in there, throwing it in there and closing the door as if it's a grenade or something. There's a fear that, as a man, that if I was to approach my partner with the book, it would be me saying,
"There's something wrong with you."
Yeah.
I mean,
you see what I mean?
That is why an honest and open conversation about how you're feeling, not like, "You've been a bit moody recently, I bought you this book." Just say, "Look," like say, if a man was listening to this and he thought that his partner was perimenopausal and they've maybe noticed 3 or 4 symptoms, buy the book, read it, or have a look at the symptoms. If you're worried about what they might think, hide it and read it. Look at the symptoms, do a little mental checklist. I think you've got this, this, and this. And then go, "Look, I've been feeling like this recently. I've been feeling like you don't love me anymore. And I really miss you." Say something nice. Say something about how you feel like we've grown apart a bit and I want to bring it back. And I've been thinking, and I listened to some stuff and I heard something on the radio, or, "How did you hear about this book?" So then you say, "Well, I was listening to the podcast, Diary of a CEO.
Like and subscribe.
And I like and subscribe. And so I thought I'd buy the book and have a look at it. And I think some of this is, can I show you something? Can we sit down? I'd really like to show it to you." And if they get annoyed, don't worry. They might get annoyed and walk away and go, "I'm not perimenopausal," and then come back and secretly read the book. Or they might come back and go, "I'm sorry, I was annoyed, but I think I am." And then they might have a cry. It can work out a million different ways, but it just needs a bit of patience, bit of understanding, and no banter. Banter is like bad in several situations. Banter is bad around periods. Do not do banter about periods. You can do banter about haircuts, clothing, loads of things, but banter about periods, not funny. Banter in childbirth, not funny. Unless wife has given you permission to bant, or unless she bants at you, then you can bant back. And banter during menopause, unless she bants first. Like, always go by the woman, because these are times of great vulnerability. And sometimes a bit of banter can really hurt.
If you love the Diary of a CEO brand and you watch this channel, please do me a huge favour. Become part of the 15% of the viewers on this channel that have hit the subscribe button. It helps us tremendously, and the bigger the channel gets, the bigger the guests.